I think it's a huge honor. Peter England is a brand. I think there are very few brands in India that you actually grow up looking at as describing words like honesty and confidence and always good intent. And I think a lot of us, not just in my generation, but even in the current younger generation, kind of subscribe to the fact that Peter England attributes itself to confidence and doing things right and succeeding in life. And I've patronized Peter England as a brand when I was younger. I still do. And so it's a great honor to be part of this kind of a relationship. And as an actor, it's always interesting when a brand sees synergy in you and the fact that you, along with the brand, can take it to another place. I always believe it's a two-way process, that whatever I contribute to Peter England as a brand, Peter England contributes to Siddharth as a brand as well. So I think it's a fantastic synergy that I'm really looking forward to. Like I said, as far as Peter England's attributes, they're quite evident from what they do and the kind of shirts and the kind of clothes that they make. They stand for confidence, they stand for youngsters believing in themselves and going out and achieving what they dream of. My films that I do, I've always thought that I've strived to make films that are clean, films that are honest, and try to reach an audience and emotionally reach out to them on terms of honesty and good intent. So I think the synergy works on that sense. My fan base in the South, where I come from, as well as in Hindi, based on the films I've done here, is predominantly young. And it's always interesting to take a stand-up brand like Peter England and take it to a younger audience. And so I think that's an interesting synergy. At the same time, it also helps that I come from an educated background. I am an MBA by education, and I think Peter England also stands for values of knowing what you're talking about and saying it clearly. So it's about speaking out and speaking out clearly, and I think that's a good synergy as well. To tell you a little secret, I've always enjoyed wearing formal clothes. Ever since I was a kid in school, even if there wasn't an occasion that deserved it, I always went out to buy a nice shirt and trousers and a belt, because, believe it or not, I've always wanted to be older. And I looked at formal clothing as an extension of that desire. So when I got older, I kind of enjoyed the fact that I didn't need an excuse anymore. I could look mature without, having to have a reason for it. But ironically, as I got older, people claimed I still looked younger than my age and didn't take me seriously enough. So I think a style quotient for people like me who don't get taken seriously too often is to use formal clothing like this to be taken seriously and kind of sound mature and look mature. So I think that really helps. But on a serious note, I have a very specific style quotient, which is it's a quotient of comfort. Because if I'm not comfortable what I'm wearing, it's going to show on my face, and it doesn't matter how expensive it is or who recommended it to you, it's not going to be stylish. So for me, clothes have to come from within, and the reason I like Peter England as a brand also is that I feel very comfortable saying the words Peter England and wearing their clothes, and that's a really important thing to say. I should be comfortable saying I'm wearing Peter England and I think I look stylish in it. So I think that kind of style comes from within. It's not really advice. I can only tell you what I practiced, and I still think I'm young at heart and quite young as well. So for me, it's about believing in yourself and knowing who you are. It's very important to, I wouldn't want you to just wear Peter England because Siddharth said wear Peter England. Look at Siddharth wearing Peter England. If you think you've got the same kind of confidence and attitude that he has, please go out there and put on a Peter England shirt and it'll become your own attitude. It's about not having somebody else's view or somebody else's values, but kind of making your values come out with your clothing and your style. And I think Peter England's the right way to go. I don't experiment too much with my clothes. I'm old-fashioned in that sense. I like simple shirts and matching trousers. So I'm not a wacky dresser as some might be in the current context of today's youth. But I say go with whatever you're comfortable with. I'd say a nice pair of shoes and a good belt goes a long way in telling somebody that you're a serious dresser. Because it's not just about concentrating on the shirt and trousers, you also have to look at the accessories, and men only have these two to go with, apart from the watch obviously, but we don't have the other advantage, the kind of other assets that women can use in terms of accessorizing. So I'd say a good pair of shoes and a good belt, apart from a crisp formal shirt, goes a long way. Like I said, it's an absolute joy to be associated with this brand. It's a brand that demands respect, not just from my father or me, but even from kids younger than me as well. And like it says on the board there, it's the beginning of good things. I hope that applies to both Peter England and for me, and this relationship goes on to very fruitful conclusions and goes on for a long time. So looking forward to that. Peter England, the beginning of good things.